thriving across North Carolina.
Yeah, but in the high country, there's a lot more behind those dollars. Nearly 2 years after Hurricane Helene, communities that lost so much are still rebuilding.
Yeah, and for many of them, tourism isn't just part of the economy, it really is the economy. A family booking, a weekend away, eating at a local restaurant, shopping along Main Street, all helps keep a small business open, a paycheck coming, and a community moving forward. So when we talk about visitors coming back to the mountains, we're also talking about another piece of the recovery coming back with them. And the newest numbers do give us a better idea of just how far that recovery has now come. Across North Carolina, visitors spent a record $37.2 billion last year, and that's up 1.3% from 2024.
Yeah, but let's take a closer look at some of the mountain counties hit by Helene. And there's an encouraging story there. In Watauga County, home to Boone and Blowing Rock, visitors spent nearly $532 million last year. Now that's up 3.1%. Avery County, let's take a look at that, including Banner, Elk, brought in nearly $250 million. That is up 3%. And then Ashe County saw the biggest increase of the three with nearly $129 million in visitor spending, up 4%. So the numbers are moving in the right direction. However, Visit North Carolina Executive Director Whit Tuttle says the recovery isn't finished.
I'd say overall, the mountains are well on their way to recovery. Spending is not quite back to where it was pre-hurricane levels. We're well on our way to recovery, not quite there yet to be fully recovered, but well on the way.
Yeah, recovery isn't happening, though, at the same pace everywhere. Why don't you look here at Buncombe County? That's home to Asheville, the Biltmore, one of the mountain's biggest tourism draws. Visitors spent nearly $2.6 billion there last year. But look at here, before Helene in 2023, that number was nearly $3 billion. So it fell to $2.65 billion in 2024, then slipped again last year. So compared to before Helene, Buncombe is still down nearly 13%. Or $377 million in annual visitor spending. Pretty significant gap for a region still working to bring those visitors back. Tuttle says some businesses are still dealing with workforce and housing shortages. But there's another challenge as well. It's perception. Some people still don't realize most of Western North Carolina is open. It's ready for visitors. And that's where something as simple as a weekend trip can make a difference.
It's a huge part of the recovery up there, and it's for many communities in Western North Carolina, it is the economy of the community. And so having that come back and provide the jobs, the opportunities it offers really makes a big difference for those areas. But what we really need is the people to come back and do that spending, because tourism is the economic engine of the mountains.
Now compare that with what is happening right here at home. Mecklenburg County had another strong year. Visitors spent nearly $6.5 billion here in 2025, and that's up 1.5% from the year before and accounts for more than 17% of all visitor spending in North Carolina. Tourism also supports more than 38,000 jobs here in Mecklenburg County. And Tuttle says Charlotte's packed calendar of major events is helping drive that growth. Just think about what came through the city in 2025. We had the ACC men's basketball tournament, the PGA Championship, FIFA Club World Club matches, the Savannah Bananas, Love and Life Music Fest, plus major concert and conventions. A lot happening here in the Queen City. And he says the payoff from events like those can last long after the crowds go home.
I think so. I think, one of the real big benefits of events is not the event itself. It's the publicity surrounding the event, the exposure that you get. That lasts, and that has a carryover beyond just the event itself. So if you get those really good international, national events that have a great reputation, people have a good time, you can see the carryover from that for years down the road.
Yeah, and here's the bigger takeaway for Charlotte. Every major event we successfully host can help open the door to even bigger ones down the road. And with major renovations planned now for Bank of America Stadium, there's already talk about what could come next, maybe even a Super Bowl. And the state's tourism leaders believe that's absolutely within reach for the Queen City.
I think that's definitely possible, and I think that's a goal that we all want to work toward and get to. And I think it's realistic, and it should happen. We deserve it.
Absolutely. So there are two different stories here inside these numbers. Charlotte using tourism to grow, Western North Carolina is using it to rebuild.
Yeah, but together they show just how much North Carolina depends on visitors to support jobs and businesses and local economies, of course. Different needs, but the same bottom line here. When people come here, guess what? Our communities benefit.